Hello Ipswich, my name is Tony Marino, I'm your town manager, and welcome to our fifth update on COVID-19 updates. We've been trying to do these weekly to give you an update what's going on in the town and let you know of any services or things that we can do to help you. Currently, right now, Town Hall was posted as being closed through April 27th. In line with the governor's orders, we are going to extend that closure to May 4th. So while we'll be inside doing the town's business, it will be closed to the public through May 4th. Depending upon what happens in the next couple of weeks, the governor may or may not extend that date, but more to follow on that. I did want to give a quick update on our quarantine firefighters, and we also had a couple of police officers. All of our quarantine officers, firefighters and police officers, have returned to work. They finished the quarantine yesterday, the 14 days, and they're back into the shift rotation starting today. So that's good news. As we stated before, they did all test negative for the COVID-19, and none of them are symptomatic right now, so that's all good news. Just for anybody who may have pulled papers for the town election, with the potential town meeting date of June 16th, and then a potential election date of June 23rd, the last day to turn in nomination papers is May 5th. That'll be coming up the week after next, so obviously a few days early would probably be better. But for those of you who haven't got all your signatures yet and still need to turn in those papers, that is the last day to do that. So I wanted to update you on that. Colleen Furman could not be here today, so I will give her update. She did send me a few talking points this morning. I did want to update the case count in Ipswich. Currently it is 34 cases in Ipswich. We have 17 cases. 17 of those cases are currently under isolation. And we had 24 close contacts that are now under quarantine based on those cases. And to date, there have been no deaths of any Ipswich residents. One thing I did want to mention, a couple of other items that Colleen would have mentioned is yesterday Governor Baker signed legislation into law to protect homeowners and tenants from eviction and foreclosure. So please go to mass.gov to get an update on that. And once we get some official notification from the state, we'll put out something on our COVID-19 page as well on ipswichma.gov. And also, as you've heard maybe through the news, and we've said it certainly a couple of times, is right now there's a high demand for blood and we don't have low inventory of blood right now. So we're asking everybody to take a look at what blood drives are available around the Commonwealth. We are having one at Town Hall on May 1st, next Friday, May 1st, from 9 to 2 in the gymnasium. A lot of our slots are filled, but there are still a few left. So if you go to redcrossblood.org, you can see about signing up for a time slot. They do it by appointment, but we're not the only one doing it. So look around. There will be surrounding areas in the North Shore area here, and you can see if you can find one that's available. And if you have the ability to go and are feeling fine, certainly giving blood would help out and get our inventory back up. So please go to redcrossblood.org if you have any questions or want to find out when the next available blood drive is going to be held. On that note, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Brian Blake. He's here to give us an update on the schools, and now I'll pass it over to Dr. Blake.
Thank you, Tony. Just a few updates for you today. Yesterday afternoon, the governor announced that schools would remain closed for the remainder of the school year and that remote learning will continue. While we knew that this was a possibility, we had hoped to be able to get back into the schools before the end of the year. Since this continues to be a fluid situation, we're awaiting additional guidance and documentation from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, or DESE, as to any new or changing requirements. The Commissioner of Education sees this closure as phase 3 of a 4-phase process. He was deeming that the initial phase was when we first closed the schools with a focus on students and families' immediate needs, such as safety and food. Then the initial remote learning recommendations that came out. Now we're in phase 3, the remote learning update that they're going to be providing us later this week, knowing that we're not returning to school. And then phase 4 will be the plans to reopen the buildings in the near future, hopefully, whether it be over the summer or actually waiting till the fall. Over the next week, the administrative team and I will be working to sort out the end of year activities, things like cleaning out classrooms. We didn't anticipate being out the rest of the year, so students and teachers still have things in their classrooms that we need to take care of, lockers, et cetera, as well as graduation and move-up ceremonies, things like that. Our last day of remote learning is still scheduled for June 17th unless we're told otherwise by the commissioner. Unfortunately, this does mean that there's no spring sports season for any of the students. It stings, especially for all of the seniors who are looking forward to their final season. The remote learning website is up and running. Students should be actively engaged with their teachers at this point. I'm proud of our teachers and the work that they're doing to provide remote learning opportunities for our students. We have a very high level of participation across all of the grade levels, and we're hopeful that this will continue. The track is still open Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 for folks to walk. We also have our meals program that's continuing. We're serving breakfast and lunch in grab-and-go bags. Again, those meals are available for any students who may need them. The meal delivery locations and times are Rosewood from 11:30 to 12:30, the Winthrop School also from 11:30 to 12:30, Agawam Village from 11:30 to 12:15, and Powder House Village from 12:15 to 12:30. I want to also give you another reminder about the virtual Walk for Hunger and donations to the food pantry. Last year, we raised over $18,000, the middle school students, through pledges and donations and their walk out to Great Neck and back. Obviously, we can't do that this year, so they've set up a virtual Walk for Hunger and are asking folks to make donations directly to the food pantry or to email Kathy McMahon at kmcmahon@ipsk12.net to make a donation. Thus far, they've raised a little over $7,000 this year for the Ipswich Food Pantry. We have a school committee meeting tomorrow night via Zoom where the administrators will be presenting information on their particular school or area just to update the school committee and the larger community. The meeting is posted online and will begin at 7 o'clock. And that is all that I have. So thank you very much and have a safe week.
Thank you, Brian. Up next will be Sheila Taylor, our COA Director. She'll be here to give us an update on what's going on with our seniors and all the programs that they continue to offer to our residents of Ipswich.
Thank you, Tony. So I just want to continue reminding everybody that we have wonderful volunteers available that have been kept busy and willingly kept busy helping people with grocery shopping, prescription pickups, phone calls, and technological assistance to people. So please call us for that. We have some lovely people that have been very helpful in that regard. So we want to thank the volunteers as well. We also have a bunch of supplies that are available that we have been handing out, and they include masks that people have made, paper goods, toilet paper, tissues, paper towels, hand sanitizers, and the wipes as well. So a lot of people have made donations in that regard, and we have been handing that out. What we do is we put things in a bag, and we either put it on the railing outside the door, or we tape it to the window on the outside part of the door, and people pick that up. So it's a very safe pickup and drop off. So we encourage you to ask us for assistance with that if you need help. We unfortunately will be rescheduling a lot of our trips that have been scheduled both for the spring, summer, hopefully not fall, but at least spring and summer. Many have been rescheduled. We will be calling people to let you know specifically if you signed up for a trip, if it's been rescheduled, what that new date is, and if you can't make it or are no longer interested, we are willingly, without any questions asked, are refunding any expenses that people have incurred to pay for the cost of the trip. So we'll reach out to you and let you know that. We just were approached by a lovely woman over the weekend who is organizing a project for people to either create their own greeting cards or artwork or other cards that people have at home that we will send to older adults in our community. So if you would like to be part of that, we have a plastic container outside the senior center where people are dropping things off. It's safe, it's dry, and then once it comes inside, we are are just keeping it for a couple of days, and then we're going to be mailing it or delivering it with the meals. So if anybody would like to participate in that project, we would love that. Thank you very much. In the robocall yesterday, I mentioned this, and a lot of people appreciated the reminder that the real estate taxes are due on May 1st. And if you have the invoice, you can either mail it to the address on the invoice, put it in the white drop box outside of Town Hall, or pay online. So just a friendly reminder for that. And I also want to bring up the stimulus check. Many people have received the money, but not necessarily everybody yet. So we're asking people for patience. We're waiting. We're working with Senator Tarr's office also to find out exactly how long we can expect for people to wait before we want to start looking into when the check should be deposited. So do call us if you have a question about that. So on the final note, we've been hearing a lot on news about COVID numbers, how many cases, how many passings, how many hospitalizations, all of that. So we actually have some wonderful COVID numbers that I wanted to share, and I thank you for offering me the opportunity to share this. So we've been at this for 5 weeks. You all know that. We probably know almost how many hours we've been at this. So we have provided a number of meals in that time. We started a new program for that. In the 5 weeks, we have provided 1,000 meals to older adults. Now, this number is as of yesterday when I put the numbers together. We have one lovely warmer from Vinwood Caterers that keeps all these 1,000 meals warm before they are delivered to people. We have also delivered 60 mobile market grocery packages for people, thanks to the Open Door Food Pantry. So grocery shopping with the volunteers, we have helped 40 different people 1, 2, or 3 times so far with the shopping. So that's 40 people that have been assisted thanks to our volunteers. Face masks, we have a ton that have been donated that have been made by people. So we have given out, we estimate 450 face masks to people. One person herself has made 700, so we have been the recipients of some of them, but she's also donated to hospice, to hospitals, to the police and fire, so a number of people are making face masks, and we're very grateful to be the recipients of that and giving them out. We do make a robo-phone call once a week, usually on Tuesday, so the duplicated count on the robocalls, we have reached 11,000 people with these phone calls, just giving updates on what's going on, what new resources are available, and offering assistance where we can. We have also done person-to-person phone calls in our office to all of our older adults that we can, and right now we estimate that's been about 1,500 people that we have reached through that, and we're adding to those numbers every day. We have 95 volunteers that have made themselves available to help in many ways, so we're very grateful for that. And we've also received a lot of donations, both in tangible items as well as financial assistance. We've received almost $10,000 to this point to help with both meals and emergency supplies, so we are so very grateful for that. We are using that money for those programs, and we encourage and appreciate any future donations to the Friends of Ipswich Elderly, P.O. Box 213 in Ipswich. If you are inclined to want to donate, it will be put to good use. Thank you. And in the tangible line, yesterday we received 50 pounds of coffee from Zoomies. They were packaged in half-pound bags, so we delivered those to the people in our grab-and-go lunch program. And today we are expecting to receive 150 boxes of Girl Scout cookies from one of the brownie troops in town. So we will be really happy to distribute that as well. So I just wanted to end on a very good note. Keep up the faith and keep up social distancing so we can get through this quick. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. I just want everybody to know too, where a lot of our surrounding towns, or some of our surrounding towns, have not been able to keep their Council on Aging's open and staffed during this COVID-19 crisis. We are very blessed and lucky to have the staff and the volunteers here in Ipswich. We haven't missed a beat. That staff has been in throughout the whole time, practicing safe social distancing and staying healthy. But they have been here for our seniors and our residents as a whole. So we really are thankful, and thank you, Sheila, for all you and your staff and all your efforts. Thank you. So up next we have Chris Bellavacqua from the Ipswich YMCA. He'll be here giving us an update on what's going on with the YMCA and all of their great programs.
Thank you, Tony. At the YMCA, we continue to work to support the community during this time. We are continuing with our food assistance programs. So again, delivering hot meals and groceries to over 200 folks in need in our communities a week. This includes hot meals on Mondays and Tuesdays in collaboration with the Dinner Bell, as well as the Tuesday meal is thanks to a donor who had donated to purchase meals from local restaurants to support the economy, and then have those meals donated to 100 folks in need. So that's been a great program. And then the grocery delivery on Wednesday and Thursday is still in collaboration with the Open Door Food Pantry, where we are getting weekly groceries to those in need through their network. We've actually now begun to expand that to include veterans in need. So we're talking with Karen Tyler to figure out if there's anything that veterans in the area need support with around food assistance. So we'll be adding some names that she has to that list next week. And again, just continuing to expand the ways that we can help in the community and the populations that we can help. We are continuing with our emergency childcare in all of our communities for critical care and essential care workers. Right now, over all the communities that we serve, we have about 500 plus children in care every day, making sure that our doctors and nurses and essential care employees can still get to work and do what they need to do during this crisis to support the community. So that's been really great. We are continuing to build our virtual content for our Y members. So we do live stream videos and as well as some canned videos. And what we've been doing is taking that content now and reaching out to, again, other populations in need in the community that might be able to use it as a support. So we've talked with schools to find out if there are at-risk kids that possibly are dealing with isolation and anxiety, to give them access to this content so that they can maintain their physical and mental health during this time. So we've been expanding that. I've been doing the same with organizations that help folks that are struggling with addiction. So sharing this content with local AA chapters, Leahy and their recovery programs, as well as the Learn to Cope organization. So again, just making sure that we can share this to support as many people as possible. We're working on plans right now for camp. We're not sure what that's going to look like this summer, but we are creating a couple of different variations of what it could look like, depending on what the CDC hands down as recommendations moving forward. So right now it's kind of a wait and see situation, but we are trying to put together plans for that. And as part of that, we're talking with the schools that are in the communities we serve to see if there are ways that we can add maybe some learning components to our summer camp to help offset any learning loss that may be experienced by kids during the time now when they're at home rather than at school. So those have been great conversations. Other than that, we've been reaching out to our senior members pretty regularly, giving them phone calls to check in and see how they're doing, and see if they need any supports, and just continuing our PPE collection. So folks have been continuing to make masks, donating them at our Y, and then we're getting them to the agencies that need them to make sure that they continue to do the good work that they do. Other than that, just, we're still talking about ways to collaborate with the town moving forward to create opportunities for folks to, get a break from everything that's going on. We're still in talks about potential drive-in. We're going to wait and see how that shakes out. We're still waiting for the safest time to do that. But always keeping the lines of communication open and, making sure that we're there for folks when they need us.
All right, great. Thank you, Chris. As always, we appreciate the collaboration and the work that the Y does. So thank you for all your efforts. All right, up next we have Lieutenant John Hubbard, who's here for not only as our police lieutenant, but as our emergency management director. He'll be giving us an update of what's going on with the state, MEMA, and our FEMA resources.
Thanks, Tony. Once again this week, we're continuing our conference calls with MEMA. On Tuesdays, we do our conference call with their local Region 1 area, which is the northeast section of Massachusetts, so MEMA Region 1, which is what we're part of. We meet every Tuesday and we discuss the issues that are concerning the region. And then on Thursdays, we have a statewide conference call with the governor or the assistant governor and other state officials and all the emergency management directors from the state. These conference calls usually talk about items like PPE accruals and trying to get equipment for the state, not necessarily talking about the virus spread, but just making sure the first responders in the communities are equipped with proper PPE. Last week, we made a request for more disinfectant wipes as we were running low at the police station, and we need them for our cruisers. So at the change of the shifts, our officers can wipe their cars down when they're changing cruisers. And the National Guard brought us a couple cases over the weekend. So the system that the state has in place right now is working very well. The requests are being met as needed. So we're in good shape on that end. Tomorrow, we have our first meeting with MEMA and FEMA regarding the reimbursement for costs that are associated with this. That could include overtime expenses for covering officers or firemen who are out on quarantine leave. So that's our first step in the initial process of getting the reimbursement from the state for the town. So we're going to try to recoup as much as we can from this disaster. So we're already starting to become in the recovery phase of this, even though we're still right in the midst of it, which is different from when we have storm recovery situations. They usually wait till the storm is over and all the damage has been assessed. They're starting the process now while we're in the midst of this, which is different from usual. So that's kind of nice that hopefully we'll start getting reimbursement back to the town sooner than normal. Sometimes with those storms, it takes up to 2 years to get reimbursement. So hopefully this process plays out differently. Due to these unprecedented times, though, on a public safety note, I just want to make a message to everybody out there. If you're feeling kind of sad or feeling depressed at this time, this is very unprecedented for a lot of people. Just know that we're here for you and we have resources. If you need somebody to talk to, we want to make sure you know that you can call us and we'll come 24 hours a day and we can get you in touch with the people that you need to be in touch with, to talk to, and help you get through this tough time. This has been tough on all of us, and we just want to make sure you know that we're here for you and you can reach out to us at any time so we can all get through this together. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, John. That's great information, and that's a nice segue into what I was going to talk about as far as our ipswichma.gov, our website. We do have a lot of information on there with just what John was talking about with regard to anxiety, depression, problems at home, things like that. If you are having issues at home, domestic issues, et cetera, there are resources out there for you, and we have outlined those on our COVID-19 page on the town website. So please use those resources, and like John said, if you need the help, please call. We are here 24/7, and we're here to help you. I just wanted to wrap up by saying so far, so good. We're 5 weeks into this, and Ipswich has been doing great with regard to social distancing and following the governor's stay-at-home advisories and practicing safe social distancing. So I want to thank everybody for their efforts. We're not done. We certainly need to keep this going, at least until the governor, lifts the stay-at-home advisory. We'll see how long that lasts. Currently, that is May 4th, as I stated before, but just like the schools, we anticipate that may get extended as well. So more to follow on that. But again, if you need anything, we are staffed at Town Hall. Myself and John, we're in every day, so as are many other staff members. So please give us a call. You can reach me at Town Hall at 978-356-6609. or via email at tm@ipswichma.gov. Thank you very much, Ipswich. Stay safe, and we will update you again next week.